situation.
Thank you. My next question, I would like you to forgive me about it because I was taught about it in school, but I forgot about it. Who was the first missionary sent to Sierra Leone? That's how he started his teaching and which part of Sierra Leone?
Which one? Is he talking about the first missionary? Oh yes, that's right. It was late Maulana Nayyar Sahib ka pura naam kya hai? Abdul Rahim, that's right. Late Maulana Abdul Rahim Nayyar, who had a very imposing personality. I remember him as a child. He used to wear green, long green robe and a green turban. He had a flowing beard and very noble face. His style of address was also very impressive. So he was the first Ahmadi missionary to reach Sierra Leone's soil, and it so happened that the first gathering he addressed was about 10,000 people in one large area where the chiefs had cooperated and gathered his followers. And before that, there was a noble, some divine, some holy man in the area who had seen a dream that Imam Mahdi has appeared. It was a Muslim area, and he is somebody representing Imam Mahdi would come here. He would be dressed in green, and he saw exactly the figure of this missionary Maulana Nayyar in his dream and told his people that this is what is going to happen. When he comes, they should accept the message. So when he started addressing, everybody remembered the dream of that late holy person who was not alive at that time, but the message was very strongly imprinted on the minds of the people. So they remembered, and they all accepted Ahmadiyyat as one lot. And that telegram created a great stir in Qadian, when after a few days of his arrival in Sierra Leone, in Qadian, a telegram reached addressed to the then Caliph, Hadhrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed, the second head of the community, that Alhamdulillah, an army of 10,000 have accepted Ahmadiyyat, and with the grace of Allah they have joined. There was a great celebration in Qadian, great stir. But that was only the beginning of a future which we are witnessing nowadays. Last year, it was around 100,000 Sierra Leoneans who accepted 60,000 or what, total, out of the total of 200,000 sum, largest was the Sierra Leone's share. Do you remember how many there were? Acha, beyond 50, I'm sorry. This year they have promised, yes. As I was telling you, I remember there was something wrong with my figures. They, 53,000 of the 200,000 of the whole world were Sierra Leoneans. And encouraged by that great success, they promised that next year, inshallah, would try to reach the figure of 100,000. Now, unfortunately, these disturbances have taken place, but still the news which is pouring in is quite encouraging. It is Allah who would grant us that success. So this time, inshallah, I hope this will be a real army, 10 times the first number of troops which entered Ahmadiyyat during the first entry of Nayyar Sahib.
The next one is about roughly, according to the last session and census in Sierra Leone, the population of Sierra Leone is about approximately 5 million people. I'd like to know from that time how the Ahmadiyya mission, or how far it has been expanded.
We don't know. We have not kept any count. But we know for certain that last year it was 52,000 who joined, and previous to that was around 40,000 who had joined Ahmadiyyat. And the pace is increasing. One thing which I saw was that wherever I went in Sierra Leone, there were Ahmadiyya boards. Everybody in Sierra Leone knew what Ahmadiyyat was. That is one country where nobody had to introduce Ahmadiyya to anybody. You say Ahmadiyya and they of course understood. And the good thing was that they always responded with love and appreciation. So much so that when in those days, there was a great problem Sierra Leone government was facing. Diamonds were being smuggled through all possible routes to Liberia and across. So it was decided by the government that almost at every 10-20 miles there would be a check post, and police would stop all cars, all buses, and they will be searched and searched for diamonds. But maybe after a few leones they would leave the passengers alone. But this was very bothersome. So we requested the police or the Home Department to provide my convoy with some sort of papers which we could show at these places, so that they could leave us alone. They said, no paper needed. You paste a token on your cars telling Ahmadiyya Muslim, that's enough. And that is exactly what happened. Our cars were pasted with tokens, like, before going to the ferry for crossing the channel, something is pasted on your car indicating that this car has been checked. Nowhere were we stopped. We had full trust that if it is Ahmadiyya, they will not be smuggling. So this is a great, I see, proof of their trust of Ahmadiyya message. The number must be quite some.
Having got the rough estimate, how these people have been converted, is it from their childhood or at their adult age?
Normally it is at adult age, not at childhood, but only those children and family members are included who follow their parents. So this conversion takes place family by family, mostly, not in all cases, where the children are already grown up and have become adults. Many a time it happens that they take their own decisions, they don't follow their parents. But where the parents are grown up, but the children are at the normal age, below teenage, etc., it seldom happens that they don't follow. They always follow their parents.
Okay. The last one, Your Eminence. How far or has Ahmadiyya Mission contributed in any way to Sierra Leone since the rebel war started?
Contributed?
Yes.
In what way? By way of help?
Socially, economically?
Oh yes, we are doing a lot, yes. We are doing a lot with the grace of Allah. And they know it in Sierra Leone. The way we are helping is visible. Everybody knows there. United Nations organizations recognize that help. And all the NGOs, they know what we are helping without claiming any applause in response to our services. We are doing it with the grace of Allah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
I'm Samuel Kalon
Yes.
from Juikoya, Kenya, Sierra Leone.
Yes. We have got a very strong and staunch Ahmadi who is also Kalon. His two sons are getting their education here at some university. You don't belong to that family. There is a large number of Kalons?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a very large family.
It's not a family, is it? Or is it a sort of sub-tribe?
The root is one.
Right, sub-tribe. Please.
Okay. I was invited here today by Dr. Kamara.
Yes.
I never know what is Ahmadiyya. I heard the name, but I don't know what it means.
Have you lived long in Sierra Leone?
Of course. Well, I don't have.
So that is one exception to my what